I love this land. It takes my breath away.
Welcome to Texas 10. I am Melissa.
And I'm Steve the Bear.
He is Bear. That's his grandpa name.
Right. And it's appropriate for this one because I want to stake who I am. I'm a bear, not an Aggie.
Right. We are going to Brazos County, and Bryan, Texas is the county seat. And of course, College Station is right there. Most people say it all together. It's Bryan College Station.
And to some people, my Aggie friends, it's the capital of the universe.
But it's not. But it is a nice county seat.
Okay, and so we have an intense rivalry with Texas A&M, goes back each on opposite ends of Highway 6. They left us to be in the Southeast Conference. I had some bitterness about that. I was prepared to not like Bryan College Station. But I have to admit, they got it going on.
You know what? I loved the Bryan downtown. It is really great. It's kind of got this the courthouse, I got to tell you, it's not so great. I mean, you should go see it, I guess, because you should see every county courthouse if you're on that quest.
It's one of those 50s courthouses.
Yeah, it looks like there's no windows. It's not my favorite. And when we were there, to be fair, it was under construction. They're kind of redoing it. And it's kind of at the end. It's not a true square, but they have a downtown, like a Main Street feel. And I really did like that.
It is a super Main Street feel. And so let's talk about a couple of things that are on it. My two favorite things that were on it were the Queen Theater, which has been redone. And then we were there, I forget if it's a Friday or Saturday night, but they have the first Friday, first Saturday sort of thing. And when it is lit up at night, it's beautiful. It's redone. It's got a bar in it, a hip bar and whatnot. And it was gorgeous. It's way up on the theater list. And then they have where there was another theater, the Palace. It's no longer
it's no longer a movie theater.
Right.
I said, this is my favorite.
Okay. But it was they turned it into an outdoor venue, and we saw
The Ghosts of Hill County.
And they were great.
They're like one of my new hot bands on my Spotify playlist. They were fantastic. They're actually from Hillsboro, Texas, but they were playing that night in Bryan. They were great, and it was a great little music venue.
It was a free concert,
yes.
too. We didn't pay anything for it, and they were worth paying for.
Yes, it was really, really great. And, if you travel around the country, you may see Carnegie buildings that were built by Carnegie, and there's a Carnegie library, and it was lovely. We went in it. It's very traditional, as all the Carnegie buildings are, so I enjoyed that. And if you love books,
we met Ed.
And Ed has his own bookstore, Ed's Bookstore. We spent quite some time in there. He's got a good Texas collection.
He has a great Texas collection.
Right. Well, okay, a great Texana collection. So we really loved being there. We really loved talking to Ed. He was the best.
Right. And so, yes, that was great. I bought my brother a blues book there and on Texas blues, which I covet, but I gave it to my brother. So that was his Christmas present. So huge thumbs up to Ed. And so there's various restaurants down there, but the shopping continued. And I know you love to shop.
Yes.
The Bryan Marketplace.
Oh my goodness. If you are looking for kind of house decor, Bryan Marketplace is fantastic. It also has a little restaurant in there, but they still have that piece that I want, that kind of that mid-mod piece. We'll have to go back.
Right, we have to go
back.
It
really, really
Hope
is
they don't
beautiful.
Have it anymore.
No, you loved it.
I did love it.
It's really a beautiful store. And also there's like oh no. I've never sneezed on an episode. I'm so sorry. There
First
you
for
go.
everything.
Say God bless me.
God bless you.
Thank you. And so
Aggies.
there's actually quite a few little antique stores. There was one antique marketplace, and they had the old football.
That was hockey.
Hockey. Oh yeah, the hockey game. It was so cool.
It was vintage, like not 60s old, like 20s old, and it was in great condition. It's right across from the Bryan Marketplace, and it had Yes, it was, and they had lots of stuff like
We
that.
almost left with that, and then we're like, we really don't have a place for it, but it was very cool. And we all know I love Mexican food, and there's a little Mexican food place down there called Cilantro's that I really enjoyed.
No, we really loved it.
Yeah,
Right?
it was
And
so
everybody
good.
that was in there really loved it.
And it's decorated very, the bright colored flags, and it was just a great little place.
And I'm going to forget the name of it. It may be Don Juan's, but that may be wrong. But there is a Mexican food place in the Main Street area right there near the marketplace. And we had asked the Lancasters, good friends of ours who live in College Station, and they'd given us that as the location, but it wasn't open at the time we were there.
I have eaten there though, because I met Boofy and Karen there, and it is really, I've eaten there twice, and it's really, really good. And it's on the main street.
So there's that, but Cilantro's was outstanding. And then the traditional place that people eat when they go down there is Longhorn Tavern. That is a forever established, every Aggie that's listening to this has eaten at Longhorn Tavern, which is sort of interesting.
Because
it's a Longhorn, right?
Yeah.
Their biggest rival. But it's got great steaks and all of that.
So you can enjoy it during the day for the shopping and that kind of thing, but it has quite the night scene, and there's also a distillery, and it was beautiful.
Hush and Whisper is the name of the distillery. And their interior is sort of a speakeasy sort of feel. It's recently been redone, and man,
it's beautiful.
And the drinks were outstanding.
Yes. So that's kind of Bryan. It's also, there's A&M has a medical school now in Bryan College Station. But
I'm going to mention one more thing about the Strip. They are redoing the LaSalle Hotel there.
Yeah.
And it's a big building. And so I think that they don't really have to do anything else to make it a happening place. But once they've got that done, I think, man, it's going to be great.
Well, it's really great in downtown Bryan. And like Steve said, it was such a surprise for us, but we thoroughly enjoyed being there. And so a lot of Aggies never get away from, the campus. And there's, of course, the area where all the kids and everyone goes back for all the bars and the restaurants. And that area is called the North Gate, right?
North Gate, there you go.
I remembered North Gate, but really what I remember is the Dixie Chick. I went there as a college student, and we went back, and it's still pretty good.
Okay, so it's the Dixie Chicken.
Or the Dixie Chicken.
Right. And the
Dixie Chicks used to sing, but now they're just the Chicks.
The Chicks. So the Dixie Chicken is iconic. That's the only word that appropriately describes it. Really cold beer, so that's great. But its claim to fame is, I think in the late 70s, Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen played the Dixie Chicken when they were getting their start. And man, those are two iconic Texas country and western singers, and they both have just such a great sense of humor.
Right.
And they wrote great songs, and a lot of them were first performed at the Dixie Chicken.
In fact, the last time we saw Lyle Lovett, he talked a lot about performing at the Dixie Chicken and about performing with Robert Earl Keen. So it was really fun.
And so that had always anchored Northgate. Obviously, since Texas A&M is now the largest campus in the United States, Northgate has expanded, and there's just all sorts of bars, outdoor, like cornhole bars and all of that sort of stuff.
The other thing I was going to say about the Dixie Chicken is it still looks like it always did. And they have tables. You will see people in there playing dominoes and 42. And so it's just a place to go and relax. And I think the Aggie students relax there quite often.
They relax hard.
So it's really great.
So in all of Northgate, you can, if the Dixie Chicken is packed, or if you've been there 50 times and you want to try something else, there's all sorts of trouble you can get into at Northgate.
Of course, if you're going to go to Bryan College Station, you have to go to the campus. And one of the things that really was beautiful, unfortunately, they had the tragedy with their bonfire, and they have a beautiful memorial.
They did that really well.
And I think what I loved about it so much is each student who lost their life in that tragic accident has like a column, and they tell the story of the student.
Right.
And you need to prepare to spend some time there, because a lot of times when you go to a memorial like that, you kind of think, well, I'm going to go and just see it. but I wanted to read the story of each one of those young people, and it was really, really remarkable. And it was written by their families
Right.
and their friends.
So that's remarkable. And the other thing you have to do on the Texas A&M campus is go to the George H.W. Bush
Yes.
Presidential Library. And they're just, I mean, the Bushes, they're just such an interesting family. They are a Texas family. And regardless of your politics, I am just so proud of their ethic, if you will, and it shines through at the museum. So it is really cool to see George and Barbara's life, see his World War II stories, his oil stories, his stand up for civil rights stories when he was a congressman in Houston, all of the things he did, obviously culminating in him being president. And on top of that, they recently added Marine One and his train, it's engine 4141, obviously, for his 41st president. And those were really cool, too.
It's a wonderful museum. And what I loved about it, like Steve said, it talks about their family life and goes through his career was so interesting and varied. I mean, I loved the section where it talked about him being the head of the CIA. That was great. And they're buried there. And they have this reflection pond, and you walk, and they have done such a good job of walking to get down to where they are buried is just beautiful. It's so peaceful and calm. One of the more beautiful spots that I've seen, because that area is not particularly pretty. It's kind of flat, and there's not the campus itself. There's honestly a lot of concrete and a lot of big buildings, but they did the most remarkable job with this.
The museum and you said the burial grounds and the lake or pond that's around it, and then the bonfire memorial are both really outstanding.
The other thing that I loved about the pond, and it's just so bush-like, they encouraged people to go and fish there. It's stocked. And so we saw a little boy and his dad, and I just thought, that is the Bushes. And the other story that I loved is the people, I know it's 11 minutes, but you have to hear this.
Okay.
The people who volunteer at the library, they have such ownership. And when the Bushes were alive, they just treated them like family. And one of the people was telling me that every Aggie game that the Bushes went to, Barbara would come to the bookstore and she would buy a bunch of stuff, and she would take it to the stadium because they would sit them at different places around the stadium each game. There was not a set place, and she would give gifts to everyone who was sitting around them. So just great stories. It's honestly, we've been twice, and it's kind of like the first time because I wanted to read everything. I did the first part, and the second time I paid more attention to the second half of the museum, but it's really spectacular. So
So there you go. So tip of the hat to the Aggies and the capital of Aggie universe. Like I said, I went being a bear, trying to be a bear. And we're still Bears, but really, there's Bryan and College Station are both well worth the visit.
Brazos County is great. So thanks. And Boofy and Karen, we love visiting your town.
This is our longest 10-minute episode.
There you go. You should be proud.
Right. That's how much we enjoyed it. So like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of those things. Go to texas10.com to get more information, and tell a friend.
Bye.
Gig 'em.
Do not.
Sick 'em.
Sick 'em.
And I love this land. It takes my breath away. From Palo Duro to the Gulf Coast plain. From the heart of the hill country to the piney wood shade. I love this land. It takes my